ready. Are we starting then? Are we? I don't really know. Oh, it started. Stream's offline. It's not offline.
Are we starting then? Are we? I don't really know.
What do you mean? Be right back. Oh, sorry. I'm alive. Okay, wait. Do I need to like?
It's not offline.
Open up full blast.
Are we?
And play.
Oh,
What do you mean? Be right back.
Oh, sorry.
I'm alive. Okay, anything's happened. It's exciting.
Okay, wait. Do I need to like?
It's
not offline.
Fine.
Be right back.
Nothing's ever happened. Okay, BRB mode should be off. Oh wait, I just realized something. Why is BRB mode on? It's not supposed to be on. It's not supposed to be on. I'm playing the game. Is it not registering? That's okay. That's fine. Yeah, let's just see what's happening here. What's that? Just be right back. It's all black. I don't understand this. Just see what's happening. Right back. It's all black. Where's my elapsed time? You're alive. The internet can totally see you now. I don't understand this. Well, they can't. What do you mean? It's all black. Where's my elapsed time? Stop using your encoder. The internet can totally see you now. I don't understand this. Well, they can't. What do you mean? I wanted to record my screen, not just a black screen with my mouse moving, and it's not happening. It's not. I wanted to record my screen, not just a black screen with my mouse moving, and it's not. How does this work? It's not happening. How does this work? How do I get it on my screen? How does this work? I'm live. Great, that's exciting. It's totally not showing literally nothing. Live. It's not good. Why am I be right back? That's my question. BRB mode on. No. It's supposed to be on. Okay. There. See. It's not good. Why am I just one person watching? Oh, because I'm watching it, right? Okay. No. It's not there. It's not. No. Show me my screen, and it's not. I'll be right back. Aren't you be watching now? No. That means somebody else is watching. Freaky, okay? You're freaky. Aren't you be watching now? No. What? 0.5 messages. Freaky. What happened? What? No, I don't understand. You're off. Oh my God. Restricted mode is off. Okay. Makes sense to you. Because it doesn't.
channel. I am your host, Larry, the delectable Chupanibre man, and today we're going to be setting up and doing basic setup and recommended settings for the XSplit Gamecaster software, which is one of two premium solutions for local recording and streaming from XSplit. There's the Gamecaster, and the Gamecaster is the simplified down version that has less settings and different components and drag and droppables to worry about, so that you don't have to worry about quite so many things when you want to get started and get going recording a game. And then there's the Broadcaster, which is sort of the more hands-on approach, which lets you set up individual recording scenes so you can quickly swap between games, between content, whatever you feel that you need to use it for. It also has some better support for your webcam and stuff. So the first page that you're greeted with when you log into the XSplit Gamecaster is just sort of the Getting Started page, which also contains your options for inputting your capture card to XSplit. So if you record console games, if you record phone games, if you just like using a capture card to record another computer like I do, then you'll want to click this Enable button right here. And what that will do is allow you to pull in your capture card as your recording source and not have to worry about recording your desktop by mistake or something. Other than that, you just need to make sure that your language is set correct on this bottom XSplit Gamecaster version bar here. They've also got their social media links. And occasionally you'll see a couple of extra buttons here on the bottom. The first one is, keeping your software up to date is really important. If you've got a new version of your graphics drivers, sometimes it can conflict with XSplit. So whenever an update becomes available, I completely recommend that you update immediately so that it has the proper support for all of the new fancy games that you might be playing. And then occasionally you'll have a orange or sometimes sort of a dark orangey red colored warning label, and that will inform you if you have something running in the background that might interfere with XSplit recording. In my case, I started fiddling around with MSI Afterburner recently, and it informed me that having them both running at the same time, without a specific setting enabled or disabled, they would prevent me from properly recording. That would be kind of a problem. So the first area that you really need to start setting up your accounts and settings is the Accounts tab here. So if you do a lot of streaming, this is definitely a must. This allows you to automatically click this button and log in via a browser plugin to allow you to log in directly to Twitch. They've also got access to Hitbox, the YouTube live streaming service. You can also stream to Ustream, Dailymotion. Whatever the heck Nico is. And if your service of choice, sometimes they don't show up on here, even if they're really cool and getting pretty big. Every recording company has got a custom settings, login settings that you can input into a game streaming software. So just find these different components in the back end of your account when you log in, input them here, click save, and then XSplit will talk to the back end of whatever service you prefer. And of course, you've got video sharing. So if you have a video that you just recorded and either didn't feel like editing or use the built-in editor, you can just have them automatically uploaded to YouTube so that you don't have to worry about logging in yourself via the web and doing it through the web portal. Makes it really easy, really convenient. And then if you plug in your social media handles down here in social networking, then every time you do a stream, every time you upload a video, every time you upload a clip or a montage, or you're about to get ready to go streaming, XSplit itself will automatically blast to all of your followers, all of your pals online, that, hey, there's some cool stuff up on the horizon. Come on in and check it out. And this is really nice so that it lets XSplit handle all of this stuff for you so you don't have to worry about it. And then all of these settings are saved to your account that you logged into up here in order to keep them across multiple different devices. Next up, it's the super horrible, ultra magical, janky, weird recording, video streaming, and video recording settings that can be oh so fun and complex. So we're going to actually leave the video capture and streaming settings for last, and we'll start with the easy stuff over here in the extras anyway. So the first thing that we'll take a look at is what the heck are these Be Right Back graphics, Larry? Well, you can find out a lot of that by just mousing over a lot of these little question marks in the software. But the Be Right Back graphics are, let's say you've been recording or streaming like all afternoon and you need to take a quick little break so that people know that you're going to come back, but you got to take a moment to yourself to empty that bladder or to relieve yourself or to go grab a snack or a drink. That is what the Be Right Back graphics are for. There's a default XSplit Be Right Back graphics if you're not very Photoshop capable. But if you want to, you can click Customize and you can insert your own graphics. You can write your own message there with their text tool. And so that will just tell people who are watching your stream that, hey, I'm here, I'm recording, I've just gone for 5 minutes. Don't you go anywhere. There's no reason to get saucy with me. After that, we have the status label and watermark section. So some of you who might be strapped for cash or simply are trying out this software, if you wanted to record at full 1080p or stream at full 1080p quality, then you're going to have to let XSplit put their little watermark in the corner and say, hey, this is big, it's cool, it's suave, it's 1080p, and it was recorded with our cool software. And that's sort of how they promote themselves in exchange for letting you use their software at full quality for free. However, it's still free to use 720p or below, so don't worry about it. And there's lots of people out in the world that still record and stream at 720p. It's nothing to be worried about. Once you get some cash, you can fix that. So I like to keep all of my little things in the lower left-hand corner. That's just my preference, so it's kind of out of my way. And we want to enable the CPU load and the game frame rates, and I will explain why this is important in a minute. Next up, we've got our devices over here. We can enable our camera. Ignore the fact that there's no camera plugged in right now. If your face was hooked up through a webcam, it would appear right here in this Manicam box here. And then if you have a green screen, because people love it when you have a green screen, they're like $20 on Amazon, you would click this chroma key button, and all chroma key means is it's taking whatever colored backdrop you're using, and it removes that color from the camera. So let's say, I've got a blue-green screen, or a blue screen, and then I could set it to blue, and it would remove it from behind my body so that I would just be a magical floating face in space and time, horrifying the young people, and then that's all you could see. It takes up less space on your screen and covers up less game footage, so it's really cool looking. So if you have one of those, just click on that, select the color, and you're good to go. I, however, don't have a camera, so I'll just leave that off. And I believe the camera automatically shows up in one of the top corners, whichever one you prefer. You can't really change that inside of XSplit Gamecaster, but you can in the broadcaster. And if you've purchased a license, you can download both. It's just one's a little easier to use right off the bat than the other. Next step, make sure you've got your microphone set up. Sometimes, like me, I don't actually have a microphone plugged into this computer right now. Make sure it's the right brand of microphone and select it. Sometimes old devices you no longer have plugged in will appear, so don't just pick the one at the top of the list. Pick the one that's the correct name. So the one that I do still have, it's on the shelf next to me, is a Logitech. So I'm going to pretend like I've got it plugged in. I'm going to select the Logitech. Next up, we'll talk about that big, snazzy, fancy, kind of complex and confusing streaming and recording quality settings. So we'll start under streaming because it's at the top of the list. you'll want to make sure that you record at the highest resolution that either your network connection will handle. If you don't have a very fast upload speed, I would recommend leaving it at 720p. But if you've got a big, fat, fancy 10 or above, maybe even 5 or above megabytes per upload speed, I completely recommend recording and streaming at full 1080p quality. Next up, we now have proper capacity on like Twitch and Hitbox and places like that to stream at 60 frames per second. I would definitely recommend, if you have the upload speed, to do that. It's a lot smoother, it's a lot nicer, and it's a better experience for both you and for the viewers and listeners at home. Now, there's the one thing I definitely wanted to talk about here, and that's something that can be a little bit confusing. Mr. Chupacabra, what on earth, Mr. Chupacabra, is this weird little codec thing? I've heard about this in the ancient arcane runes of the internet. Well, codec is basically just the little brain inside the computer that tells it how to write out an MP4 video file, or any type of video file that you might want to record with or export with. In this case, XSplit only does MP4 videos, and you want that because it's the most readily used and available video format on the web right now. So these different codec tools here are basically determining what component or part inside your computer is being used to record and to render out this video as a file on your computer. So if you don't have a graphics card on your computer, the only thing that you're going to be able to use is the X264 CPU encoder. This just means that your CPU, the brain of your computer, is making a second copy of all of the frames being fed to your desktop. So if you know you don't have a good graphics card in your computer, or you know that you don't have a very good onboard graphics card, then I suggest using the X264 CPU encoder. Just for your reference at home, the X264 moniker, or the H.264, or just 264, that is basically just shorthand, technical shorthand for MP4 video. So in case you're curious, in case you see it just listed as that and not MP4, you don't get confused. So the other different formats we've got down here is if you've got an Intel CPU, which a lot of people do, these are like the i3s, the i5s, the i7s, any of the ones that are Sandy Bridge technology or newer have a type of built-in. Twitch has the ability to time period. And so the reason why you want to enable the game frame rate in your HUD is if you're playing a game that's very resource intensive and you're having it on a beautiful settings that's only barely getting above 30 F30, don't record, or if you don't, a very simplistic way of talking about video bit rates. Every video platform turning the quality setting at higher setting. We got these last two settings. You've got show mouse cursor and allow game switching. Showing your mouse cursor just forces the games. Any game where knowing where the mouse is important for the viewer is a reason why you'd want to click show mouse cursor. In my case, not really for first-person shooters, action games, but for strategy games, RTS games, StarCraft-style RTS, if you're not familiar with the term, or anything that's like all about where the mouse is and where you're sending minions, that's why you'd want to show the mouse cursor. So the other thing that's kind of hinky is allow game switching to occur and still keep your recording going. I don't recommend this, but you can experiment with using this to quickly switch between games. If you're big on shoutcasting, if you want to swap between games and quickly record one big long file of games without having to set up and take a break from your stream or your recording, then you can try this. The problem with using allow game switching in Gamecaster as opposed to broadcasting, sometimes it has trouble detecting both games at once, and you'll switch to another game, you'll hear your audio from you playing that other game, but you won't see the game footage. So my recommendation, leave this turned off and record one game at a time. Turn your recording off, switch to the next game, turn it back on, magic happens. Otherwise, nah, just leave that off. Leave your mouse cursor off, but those are the reasons why you'd want to enable both of those. Next up, we've got the wonderfully exciting hotkey option. I know, it's your favorite. It's my favorite too. By default, Control Tab opens up a Steam-esque overlay on your game, on top of your game. This will give you buttons that record, that stream, that allow you to mute and adjust your volumes, set status labels. You can mute, use these, then hard drive in my computer that I like to keep my game files on and my recording that we've got here. You can. So here we are inside of Grimrock. You'll notice that XSplit has just initialized. You can see my frame counter down here. I've turned on triple buffering to make it easier for me to record this sample, but you can see frame rates kind of dipping down here below 60. My CPU's pretty good, and so we can resume my game. I can walk around, be all sorts of stealthy and suave, and then I can hit my key binding, Control Tab, which brings up my XSplit interface. I can click this button, that'll start the stream. I can start my recording, which will initialize and show a recording indicator down here at the bottom, so you always know when you're
Yeah?
We have your charger, you forgot it, so I don't know what it's to.
It's my Kindle.
Huh?
It's my Kindle.
Okay, well, she has it, okay?
Huh?
What?
Huh? Okay, I need to try to open this, like, on Minecraft, like, I guess, I don't know, okay, I need to try to open this, like, on Minecraft.